The flood. And Yahweh said to Noah, come into the ark, you and your household, and all your household, because I have seen that you are righteous before me in this generation. Of all the clean beasts take with you 7 pairs, a male and his female. And of the beasts that are unclean, 2, a male and his female. And of the birds of the sky 7 pairs, male and female, to keep offspring alive on the face of the land, of all the land. For after 7 more days I am sending rain on the land, 40 days and 40 nights, that shall wipe from the face of the land all that stand that I created. And Noah did according to all that Yahweh commanded him. And Noah was 600 years old when the floodwaters were on the land. And Noah and his sons and his wife and his sons' wives went into the ark because of the waters of the flood. Of the clean beasts and of the beasts that are unclean, and of the birds, and of all that creep on the land, 2 by 2 they went into the ark to Noah, male and female, as Elohim had commanded Noah. And it came to be, after 7 days, that the waters of the flood were on the land, in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month. On that day all the fountains of the great deep were broken up, and the windows of the sky were opened. And the rain was on the land 40 days and 40 nights. On that same day Noah, Shem, and Ham, and Japheth, the sons of Noah, and Noah's wife, and the 3 wives of his sons with him, went into the ark, they and every living creature after its kind, and every beast after its kind, and every creepy creature that creeps on the land after its kind, and every bird after its kind, and every bird of every sort. And they went into the ark to Noah, 2 by 2, of all flesh, in which is the breath of life. And those going in, male and female of all flesh, went in as Elohim had commanded him, and Yahweh shut him in. And the flood was on the land 40 days, and the waters increased, and lifted up the ark, and it rose above the land. And the waters were mighty, and greatly increased on the land, and the ark moved about on the surface of the waters. And the waters were exceedingly mighty on the land, and all the high mountains under all the sky were covered. The waters became mighty, 50 cubits upward, and the mountains were covered. And all flesh died that moved on the land, birds, and cattle, and beasts, and every creepy creature that creeps on the land, and all mankind. All in whose nostrils was the breath of the spirit of life, all that was on the dry land died. So he wiped off all that stand, which were on the face of the ground, both man and beast, creepy creature, and bird of the sky. And they were wiped off from the land. And only Noah was left, and those with him in the ark. And the waters were mighty on the land 150 days. And Elohim remembered Noah, and all the beasts and all the cattle that were with him in the ark. And Elohim made a wind pass over the land. And Elohim made a wind to pass over the land, and the waters subsided. And the fountains of the deep and the windows of the sky were stopped, and the rain from the sky was withheld, and the waters receded steadily from the land. And at the end of 150 days the waters diminished. And in the 7th month, the 17th day of the month, the ark rested on the mountains of Arad, and the waters decreased steadily until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, the tops of the waters became visible. And it came to be at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made, and he sent out a raven, which kept going out and turning back until the waters had dried up from the land. Then he sent out a dove from him, to see if the waters had receded from the face of the ground. But the dove found no resting place for its feet, and returned into the ark to him. For the waters were on the face of all the land. So he put out his hand and took it, and pulled it into the ark to himself. And he waited yet another 7 days, and again he sent the dove out from the ark. And the dove came to him in the evening, and see, a freshly plucked olive leaf was in its mouth. And Noah knew that the waters had receded from the land. And he waited yet another 7 days, and sent out the dove, which did not return to him again. And it came to be in the 601st year, in the 1st month, the 1st day of the month, that the waters were dried up from the land. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and saw the surface of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, the land was dry. And Elohim spoke to Noah, saying, Go out of the ark, you, and your wife, and your sons wives with you. Bring out with you every living creature of all flesh that is with you, of birds, of cattle, all creepy creatures that creep on the land. And let them teem on the land, and bear and increase on the land. So Noah went out, and his sons, and his wife, and his sons' wives with him, every beast, every creepy creature, and every bird, whatever creeps on the land according to their kinds, went out of the ark. And Noah built an altar to Yahweh, and took every clean beast and every clean bird, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And Yahweh smelled a soothing fragrance. And Yahweh said in his heart, Never again shall I curse the ground because of man, although the inclination of man's heart is evil from his youth. And never again smite all living creatures, as I have done, as long as the land remains, seed time and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, and day and night shall not cease. And Elohim blessed Noah and his sons, and said to them, Bear fruit and increase, and fill the land. And the fear of you and the dread of you is on every beast of the land, on every bird of the sky, on all that creeps on the ground, on all the fish of the sea. Into your hand they have been given. Every moving creature that lives is food for you. I've given you all as I've given the green plants. But do not eat the flesh with its life, its blood, but only your blood for your lives I require from the hand of every beast. I require it, and from the hand of a man, from the hand of every man's brother, I require the life of man. Whoever sheds man's blood, by man his blood is shed. For in the image of Elohim he has made man. As for you, bear fruit and increase. Bring forth teemingly in the land, and increase in it. And Elohim spoke to Noah and his sons with him, saying, And I establish my covenant with you, and with your seed after you, and with every living creature that is with you, of the birds, of the cattle, and of every beast of the land with you, of all that go out of the ark, every beast of the land. And I shall establish my covenant with you. Never again is all flesh cut off by the waters of the flood, and never again is there a flood to destroy the land. And Elohim said, This is the sign of the covenant which I make between you, me and you, and every living creature that is with you, for all generations to come. I shall set my rainbow in the cloud, and it shall be for the sign of the covenant between me and the land. And it shall be, when I bring a cloud over the land, that the rainbow shall be seen in the cloud, and I shall remember my covenant which is between me and you, and every living creature of the land, of all flesh. And never again let the waters become a flood to destroy all flesh. And the rainbow shall be in the cloud, and I shall see it, and remember the everlasting covenant between Elohim and every living creature of all flesh that is on the land. And Elohim said to Noah, This is the sign of the covenant which I have established between me and all flesh that is on the land.